these stories. There is, for example, a recent story about 32 company called 32 Red. They were fined £2 million for not carrying, for example, allowing someone to spend rather a large sum of money over a period of years, and for not carrying out accurate money laundering checks.
Yeah.
How do you feel about things like that?
Well, I guess first and foremost, the positive is that 32 Red, once they recognised it, held their hands up and were very supportive with the Commission in their investigation, and I think the Commission recognised that. The 32 Red case goes back 2011, I think it was.
Okay.
So I would be hopeful that they've put a lot in place since that period. And I think in some of the issues that we've seen come to light recently, that there have been some issues related to legacy systems and legacy processes, and actually the gambling industry just not being smart enough.
No, I see.
I'm hopeful that because of action by the Gambling Commission, because of action within industry, that if we look back in 12, 18 months, it'll be a completely different picture. I know of one organisation who a customer won a £500,000 jackpot very recently.
Yeah.
And after all the mandatory checks, the EML, etc., they paid out virtually immediately.
Mm.
And they wouldn't have done that 6 months ago, 3 months ago, maybe even, probably 6 months ago. They would have faced the payouts. And I suppose for me it's just an indication of some of the cultural shift. So they would have paid, I don't know, £100,000 one month and £100,000 the next month, and then £100,000 a month after, and stagger it that way.
I see.
In the hope that the customer would spend. And they haven't done that on this occasion. They've virtually paid out straight away. It's a small thing, but it's a positive thing for me to see.
Okay. So that does sound like, a positive thing that has been done as a result of these problematic cases. Do you think anything's been done in relation to professional bodies? I mean, you mentioned that you work and you ensure you're compliant with quite a few professional bodies.
I think one of the things that's been thrown at the industry is that it's too introspective looking, and it doesn't probably have that one voice. I know we've got the RGA, but it doesn't seem to be representative of all of the voices across the industry. So I think probably the first step is for really the industry to probably align itself, and we might see that becoming a little easier with mergers and movement across the industry, as we get less big players out there. We'll see them almost draw together, or it'll certainly be a little easier for them to draw together.
Yeah.
So I don't think we should be reliant on an industry regulatory body. I think we need individuals, as in corporate individuals, to be brave and try and take the lead. And I think, I can't remember if it was this last year or the year before, maybe just last October, Richard Flint from Skyvet at a conference said to one of the guys from the commission that he was worried about his organisation putting their head above the parapet.
Yeah.
And taking the lead on all things responsible gambling related. Just because fundamentally businesses exist to make money, and he has his business to consider, and can't get away from it. Businesses are in industry to make money, but that doesn't mean we can't make it ethically and we can't make it the right way. Maybe that means a little bit less revenue in the short term.
Yeah.
But there's nothing wrong with making money. It's just about making sure you make money in the right way.
Yeah.
And I suppose that's what the gambling industry needs to get across, that making money is a good thing. It's good for the company. It's good for the country. It's good for the employees within the industry. It allows us to innovate. It allows us to do things differently. Making money is not the wrong thing to do. Treating customers fairly, treating customers right, making sure they get what they're expecting, make sure they know what they're expecting. As long as we can be seen to be doing that, then I'm loath to call it a media battle, because it shouldn't be a media battle. It should just be the image of gambling starts to change colour a little bit.
Okay, I see. So what future measures do you think your company could take to improve trust towards the gambling industry?
I think it's quite a bit. We've talked a lot about transparency. I understand that, but also things like what I mentioned earlier on, paying out straight away.
Yeah.
There's somebody I know. He bets with. Back to Richard. He bets with Sky Bet.
Yeah.
Because he knows that they pay out straight away, so he trusts them.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen with all operators. So his prime betting app is Sky Bet. I think he likes the app as well, but he knows that if he wins, they'll pay out. So paying out promptly, paying out on time. I think also being quite hard on the customer base, and sometimes to the detriment of the company itself. So saying no to a customer, and I don't mean just literally saying no, but when we talked about measures earlier on about for operators forcing limits on customers, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Operators taking control and not allowing consumers to gamble.
Okay, so operators taking more the onus to help customers to gamble within their own limits.
Yeah. So it rather than let the customer have total control, it takes some of that control away from them and recognising what's appropriate and what isn't for that customer, and being able and brave enough to say, no, actually, we're not going to let you gamble for a while. Okay. And I know that to be honest, you don't hear about it so much. There's a lot of good stuff on there that goes on there. I know of one entity that if a customer has self-excluded, they will not allow the customer to gamble again until they've had an interview with a psychologist. And that customer has to demonstrate to the psychologist how they're going to change their behaviour so they don't get to that situation again.
Yeah.
And over another entity whereby if you've self-excluded 3 times in your lifetime with that organisation, they won't do business with you again. And it's all that good stuff that doesn't come out because there's so much bad stuff out there. But it's behaviours like this where the operator is saying no to the customer because they've let something get out of control.
Yeah.
They let their gambling get out of control. So because they've allowed that to get out of control, the operator's taking the control away from them and making them do something different. And whether that's saying no to gambling or bringing them in for an interview.
Okay. Now,